Alrighty, everybody, welcome back to another episode of Exclusive Chats and Studio Tracks. Today we have another special invitation. Small town boy with a big ambition, and he's a rapper, he's a producer, he's a singer from Hollister, drawing inspiration from a wide range of sounds, influenced by artists like Taylor, The Creator, MF Dooms, and more. He's craving out for his own unique space in music. So welcome, Lijah. Let's go. What's up, my bro? Welcome to Ecast Studio, man. How you feeling?
I'm doing all right. I feel
doing
amazing.
good?
Yeah.
Ciao.
Yeah.
Bro, I'm digging your style, bro. That's the vibe.
Yeah.
You know, the other day I had my fro out and my little niece was like, Theo, like, why are you wearing the hair like that? What is that? I was like, because I'm cool.
Yeah.
You know? And that's exactly what it is.
It's the only way to do it, bro.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
So I'm glad that you actually made it through out here. Thanks to the sponsor by Josue from Flower Pods. Thank you for the come through, bro, and the plug. And man, let's take it a little bit back. You know, I was listening, like I was telling you earlier, a little bit of your music, and there's some things that are pretty interesting behind your creative process. But let's go back, man. How did growing up in the Central Coast shape your music?
I think, honestly, because there's no, like, music scene out there initially, at least me growing up, because I'm a little younger. I'm only 21. Like...
Yeah, I'm Buck here.
Yeah. I think it was just, like, honestly, being dead center of everything, I got to pick from a lot. So growing up in a house where a lot of different kind of music was played, like a lot of neo soul that my father would play, or a lot of the like rock music that my mom would listen to, or like Spanish music my grandparents would listen to, I really got to pick from a lot of different places. So it's like, yeah, I don't know. It's just a strange thing, honestly.
So Lijah, what makes you tick on the music?
I don't know. It's everything. It's just sounds, bro. Like that's the only way I can describe it. It's just... When I was younger, I didn't know the terminology for things, but I think honestly what it is like chords. Certain chords when they hit my ear and it makes me feel a certain way. Progressions. Yeah, and the way when it drops a certain way or if it, changes, it's everything, bro.
That's cool, man. That's cool. When did you actually realize? Tell me a little bit more. Like, when was the first time that you actually saw yourself like, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna pursue music. I'm gonna start doing this stuff.
I think honestly, it started probably when I was in like middle school. Okay. When I actually discovered like hip hop. You know what I mean? Like actually dove into it. It was literally like your classic. Like I listened to like NWA, and I saw these dudes, and I was like, whoa, like this is crazy. And I was like, I think I want to do that, right? So I started like, that's when I started writing raps at least. And then by the time I was probably like 12, 13, that's when I discovered Tyler, the Creator. And I was like, I found out what a producer was through him because I found out he made all his music himself. And that really made me like, I want to do that.
Okay.
Like,
that's cool, man. Yeah. That's cool. You know, sometimes when we're in that age, it's like, I really don't know what to do. Yeah. You know, and I feel like when I was in middle school, I was in the adventure of I want to do music, but I don't really know what I want to do. So I started really young, right? But when I was in middle school, I finally started to try a different instrument, which in that case was the bass. Yeah. So the bass is my second instrument of all that I play. But I was encountered with a surprise that when I went to the school, they made me play the double bass. Oh, shit. And that thing was twice as big as me. I was like, what the hell? So I got intimidated, and then I kind of like got shy back. And I was like, I don't want to do this, you know, so I didn't know. So, and for you to actually find that in middle school at an early age, right, that this is something I really want to pursue. It's a eye-awakening message, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Because kids nowadays, it's kind of hard. You don't know, they're involved in their tablets and on other stuff, YouTube, and they don't kind of explore that, you know, that venue. Yeah,
like the creative like areas. I feel like, yeah, I don't know. That's kind of how I was. I was feeling kind of where I was. At least I felt displaced. You know what I mean? Because I was also on top of that, like in like band and stuff. So I used to play like the saxophone and all that.
Oh, that's cool.
So music has always been a big part of my life. Like my father was a musician, everyone on his side, all of his brothers, my uncles were all guitar players. My grandmother taught everybody on my dad's side how to play the blues. So it's like,
oh, you got it in your blood already, man.
So it's there. It's like a given almost, but I think the whole rap thing is like what kind of flips it on its head, you know? But I have that like pocket of soul that's always going to be like in here type of thing.
So you are an all-around artist. You actually produce your own music and you perform and you record yourself and all that stuff. How is that process like?
I think it's just like lately at least it's just been what I feel. So for example, kind of like the last couple months I've been through a lot personal wise, and my father always kind of told me, like, especially with things like pain and emotion, right? When you're talking emotions, the best way to let that out is through your music, right? So it really will vary from day to day. I might make a beat because I feel angry or because I feel happy in turn. And then I might write the lyrics like a week later because I've processed those feelings. And that's when I feel that I can flesh it out in a way that I can like digest and people can digest and stuff like that.
So you actually do sit down and use the old style of writing, my notebook and everything?
It depends. A lot of it is in my phone, but like if sometimes I'm feeling like a little crafty, you know, I might bust out the little pad. I have a couple of notebooks that are full up of just like ideas and stuff like that.
I kind of miss that, man, because we are so involved with technology nowadays that it's kind of hard to disconnect in the creative process. But I'm thinking I'm going to take that approach soon because it's like it's needed to just hand jam. Sometimes I forget that I know how to write. You know, it's so funny because it's like, wait a second, I can actually write. You know what I'm saying? So it's a good practice to do that, man. How do you actually mix all those genres in the music? How do you channel in a way that sounds cohesive? Because like I was saying earlier, I've heard some of your stuff and the way that you sampling, and you also sample like, I don't know if it was a show or something. I've heard a couple like vocals talking message. Like, imagine maybe you could do this, sample Jerry Springer someday or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Type thing. How do you manage that?
I don't know. I think it's because a lot of my inspiration with that, it comes from like MF Doom. So like MF Doom would sample a lot of like stuff from like old cartoons and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like superhero cartoons and whatnot.
Yeah.
So I think when I hear certain things, whether it's like a movie clip or something I think might sound like funny before it be like hits or something, I don't know. As far as that goes, it's just that. And I think a lot of the soul stuff that I sample just comes again from like my background and like what I grew up listening to and like digging through like records and just listening to different stuff.
That's cool. What's one of those biggest lessons that you've received from this journey? Ding, 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 ding,
that's like a biggest lesson for right now, even though it's not even at a like peak point. I think it's that you need to keep your circle kind of small. And I think that's something that a lot of people don't really think about early on and going up, because I'm kind of one of those people where if I surround myself with too many people, I have too many opinions. It's too many mouths. That will eventually turn into too many mouths that you need to feed, right? So it's like, I don't know. I think focusing on yourself is really important, and really investing in yourself is really important.
That's a good answer, man. That's definitely a good answer, because right now you see, like the other day I was talking about having those friends that are just like kind of like chasing that clout with you. They're not really that friends, you know. They just another piece to make you feel like you actually are doing something, and they don't provide any feedback that is to improve yourself. You know what I'm saying? Everything's like, no, you're hard. Meanwhile, your music, your lyric, your everything around you is trash, but they're searching like that image that you're carrying, you know. And it's kind of sad, honestly, because it kind of hinders the creative process. and the relationships that you potentially build with other people. Talking about relationships, are you looking like, have you done any collaborations with other artists around the area?
Yeah, my homie Jim Flowers.
What? He was around here. Actually, he's behind stage.
Yeah. The homie Jim Flowers, clicking up with him and Sway from the Flower Pot, like that happened. It's not even been a year yet, but the way that all happened was really awesome. And they've like introduced me to a lot of people, specifically them though, notably. I would say Jim.
That's a natural connection, that's for sure. And me myself, I've experienced this so far, and everything seems to be really genuine and not forced, which is one of those things that you always want to cherish, because it's hard to find, man.
Yeah.
It's definitely, and they're so creative, it's crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, we spent well, by this time you probably already saw Jim's Flowers interview, so you know it's crazy what we did in the studio. But yeah, man, so going back to the creative process, man, what comes first? The beat, the lyric, or you just catch a vibe?
I probably will say the beat, just because I think that's like the actual music is the best way that I can invoke how I feel in that moment. You know what I mean? So like kind of what I was talking about earlier, the lyrics will come because I will have processed it and I can conceptualize it, you know what I mean? And I think that, like, I love rapping, I love singing, doing all that, but I think producing at the end of the day is probably my favorite thing to do. Okay. So it's naturally just the beat first, though.
That's cool. Yeah. That's an interesting question to ask, because every time I get something different. Every time. Some people they will be like, no, I just mumble whatever on my phone, then I slap it on the thing, then I sample my own mumble and whatever. It's, it's a really interesting, because science is, music is science.
Yeah.
It's definitely an experiment. You have to experiment with different sounds, different equipments, different way of doing and approaching your idea, and that's why creative minds are so powerful, because we think outside the box. Ultimately, that's the biggest challenge for a lot of people, thinking outside the box, and they just start hitting the corners like, I'm lost. But once you step out of that box, things start flourishing. That's cool. The beat, I'm gonna say I kind of agree with that.
Yeah.
The beat. I'm a producer mainly, so whatever I'm feeling first, I'll just write to it. Yeah. That's definitely the way that I could approach that, bro. So out of all your music, what's your favorite track?
Honestly, it's something that's unreleased right now.
Ooh.
I've probably made my favorite track to date literally like 3 days ago. Yeah. Like probably like 3 days ago.
Wow.
Like y'all just have to wait till it comes out to see why.
Well, we'll definitely we'll let you guys know. We'll let you guys know what's up, man. That's what's up.
Yeah.
But out of the ones that you already got, you had an album. You released an album of the name of the album, I didn't write it down. The one with the skull of the dog in the front.
Yeah, Dog Brain.
Yes. Yeah. How do you feel about that album?
That album is awesome.
It has a lot of samples. Yeah. It was almost like going through a conversation. At first you listen to the samples, it takes you to a conversation, then the other song responds to the first song, then the next one responds or brings you to the next one. It's kind of interesting. How do you came with that idea?
A lot of those little voice memos are ones that I just kind of recorded on the fly. As far as like other little samples, honestly, like that project wasn't even supposed to be like a concept initially. Like the term dog brain just comes from me like diagnosing myself with ADHD essentially. Because my brain is so, I feel like a dog, like a little perito, like I'm running around. I'm like, that's how I feel a lot of the time. I'm keeping it together right now, but I'm so like.
Oh, bro, trust me. I lost it earlier with the freaking water here. Let me take a sip. Thank you, Josue. Bruh, kill me. Yeah. But that's a good thing, though, because that keeps us on point, man. It keeps us sharp. and it keeps us like evolving every time, man. If we didn't have that, I think it's because I have it too. It's that anxiety thing. If I wasn't anxious at this point, it's like I know that there's something that's not right.
Yeah.
So I'm embracing it.
Hell yeah.
And doing this every time I do this, I get the nerves, I get everything, but I still, like I said, I hit record and we do it. You know what I'm saying? Because it's worse when you actually just thinking about, no, I'm gonna do this or I'm gonna try to do this, and you never do it. Once it's done, it's like, ooh, sigh. Let it go, man. You let it go. Bro, how do you feel? How do you want people to feel when they hear your music?
I want you to feel anything, honestly. If you can relate to it, like on a personal level, that's amazing. If the music itself moves you in any type of way, like honestly, like I credit my little brother, for me putting any type of feeling into my music, because I remember when I started initially, I was like, I want my music to make people feel things, right? And he was like, oh, this don't make me feel nothing. And that like hurt my soul. So ever since he told me that, I was like, I'm promising myself that no matter what I make after this.
Bro, your bro is king, man. To tell you that takes that he loves you for real, bro.
Yeah.
I'll tell you that much, because that's I was saying the other day, I was like, bro, if you want my honest opinion, I'm gonna give you my honest opinion. If it's not, I'm not feeling it. If it's crap, it's crap. If it's good, I'm gonna say it's good, and it's gonna be genuine. So don't overthink that I'm just capping. No, hell no. Hell no, I don't do that. It would be a disrespectful part for me to do that to music per se,
Yeah.
But for him to do that, oh my God. So when you heard those words coming out of him, obviously you felt like kind of like you got a stab in your heart, but how did you approach it afterwards?
I just started studying, and honestly, I think when I enrolled, like I was doing community college for a little bit, and I was initially gonna major in music.
Oh,
and
nice.
I think when I got into my like music theory bag and actually learned, because I've always like learned everything by ear. I play piano by ear, like just listening, right? But when I learned notes and chord progressions and how everything works theoretically, right? It's kind of like you said, it's a science type of thing. I learned how to plug that in. I'm like, oh, this is really translation for this feeling.
Right.
And I was able to finally connect, oh, I feel like this, to the science part of it.
How do minor chords affect sadness? How do major chords affect happiness, and so on and so forth? Yeah.
So I just promised myself, I'm like, especially when it came to the raps and stuff like that, I'm like, okay, if I want to rap to make people turn up, I need to make sure that I'm really barring out.
The delivery, man.
Everything. From changing my voice, like how my cadence or how hard I come on something, or like pause. Just anything, you know what I mean?
That's dope, man. I'm glad that you're actually taking that approach. And, we always have to remain ourselves teachables. Like I tell everybody, remain yourself teachable, because the moment that you feel that you think you know it all, that's the moment that you stop growing, and it's good to keep on experimenting and learning from other people and adapting here and there until you got that formula per se for your character, for yourself, for all the stuff that you do that just happens to work. And it seems like you're getting there, man, and you got it. So I congratulate you for that, for reals.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, I think it's the sampling is on point with the cohesiveness of your sound. So you definitely got it there, bro. We're almost done, but before we go, bro, how's your mental health? How do you think mental health nowadays has been affecting artists and people in the industry and stuff like that? How do you feel?
Personally, right now, I feel stoked and amazing to be alive. Despite all my hardships, I've went through a lot in the last couple months, from losing my grandfather to getting into a couple car accidents and seeing some things that not everybody needs to see. But in spite of it all, I'm grateful to be here. I think that our mental health is the most important thing ever, especially when it comes to us as artists, right? I think the best way to combat certain things is to put that into your art so that you express it in a way that like you're not gonna, for lack of better words, crash out. You know what I mean? You're not gonna go do anything that could harm yourself or the people around you.
Yeah.
So yeah, mental health is it's a really big part of my music too, you know? Like it's the only way that I can really be myself and use that as an outlet, as a way to kind of get my head right or process things in a way, you know? But right now, honestly, I feel good.
That's good, man. What would you recommend this young kids that are coming up now and are looking forward to or they're exploring the ways of music, and because music now is so accessible to a lot of people, you know, you could get a recording software on your phone and things like that. What you recommend to them?
Make what you like. Don't do anything that's performative or you want to sound cool. Like really stand on business with what you like. You know, I think that's a lot of like stuff that I'm seeing nowadays, at least, is like people are scared to be themselves. And I've never been like that. You know what I mean? I've always just like made music for myself at the end of the day. And I'm lucky enough that people enjoy it. So, and I think that genuine connection and seeing that you are just really doing what you love, like, and what you like, and putting that out, that makes people gravitate to it more.
I respect that. Definitely, because I hate every time people reach out to me and tell me, "Oh no, I want a type beat."
Yeah, nah, bro. Kill the type beat, bro.
God,
kill
please.
The type beat.
No.
Anybody that knows me,
that is so
me,
2016.
Yeah.
Stop with the type beats. No. I am so sick of it. So please start with the type beats.
Nah.
Be yourself. Explore on other venues. Yes, I do say yes. Get inspiration from it, but don't stick to that type thing situation. Be your own self, and that's how you're actually gonna find a leeway to success. So,
hell yeah,
bro. What's it for Elijah now, man? What's the future looking like, man?
Big things. Shooting stuff for the current album I'm working on. It's called Where Do the Birds Go at Night. It's gonna be the next project. Just shooting a bunch of stuff for it, rollouts, big stuff. Yeah.
Where do the birds go at night?
Yeah.
That's a good question.
Y'all ever think about that? Y'all ever think about it?
I never thought about that. I mean, they sleep in the tree. Would they sleep with their eyes open or closed?
Yeah, I don't know. I've never seen
crickets.
Them, so I don't know.
Man,
maybe they turn into bats. I don't know.
Ooh, I heard some bats last night walking in the backyard too. That was kind of crazy. Bro, I'm glad that you actually made it here, and we're about to go into a session into the studio, bro. Tell everybody where they can find you, man.
Y'all can find me on Instagram at It's Just Elijah, Spotify, anything, Apple Music, Lijah, Lijah. Don't forget the dot. That's a little period because it's a bunch of other Elijahs out there. So, yeah.
Well, people, you already know it. The Ecast series, exclusive chats, and studio track is coming with the best of the Central Coast, and you can't miss it. So stay tuned for more, and thank you, my bro Elijah. Welcome to the Ecast studio. Let's go to the session. Woo!